right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. We're glad to have you with us again for another edition of Ask an Artist. My name is Ryan Badger. I'm the Curator of Collections at the Briscoe Western Art Museum. And today we're very fortunate to have with us Mary Ross Buchholz. Thank you for joining us today.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for asking me.
So what got you into the field as a professional artist?
Well, actually, I never gave it a thought about being a professional artist per se. I always drew horses as a child and our other ranch animals. So art was, in a way, a passion early on. I graduated from Texas A&M University, majoring in animal science or science option. So I was one of those math and science geeks in a way.
Wow.
So I got married, started a family, and I guess in the mid-90s, my mother said, let's take art lessons together. And so we started painting lessons, and it kind of took off from there. It was important for me to be a stay-at-home mom, and being an artist allowed me to do that. So I continued my art career and my children and things on the ranch all at the same time.
That's incredible. Now, do you feel like that your background in animal science and veterinary medicine kind of helped you in terms of understanding the anatomy of some of your subjects, your horses and cattle in particular?
Absolutely. That was, they say drawing is the foundation of art, and probably anatomy lessons is the foundation in lots of fields, whether you're drawing or sculpting. It all helps put things together.
That's excellent. Well, where do you draw your inspiration from?
I draw my inspiration mainly from the ranch and the animals on the ranch. My family members and friends are often asked to be subjects. So I'm so fortunate that there's inspiration all around me and basically just out my back door.
So tell us a little bit about this piece right here that we're looking at.
Yes, it's called Spring Branding at the Sixes, and it's an up-close drawing of a horse ridden by 4/6 cowboy True Burson. It has a special meaning to me, so this whole piece, pulling the 4/6 ranches together in our family friendship. So,
well, it's a beautiful piece too. I mean, you get such a sense of motion and energy, plus like the incorporation of all the textures, like the tack, the cord ropes, everything like that. It really is a very dynamic piece and just has so much depth to it.
A lot of times in my drawings, I like to have areas of rest. Just like beautifully composed music, you need areas of rest. And what that means in a drawing, I like to describe, I'll have areas with less detail or more subtle detail. So I deliberately move the viewer's eye around a painting with those techniques. Maybe more detail in a focal area and less detail in a shadow area.
We actually had one of our members that wrote in, a woman named Virginia, who had a question almost exactly about that. She asks, says, "Hi, Mary, how do you get those darkest darks or black?" And she's thinking of a very specific piece. It's a mountain goat skull on an Indian blanket.
So this goat skull has a lot of texture and details. It's a balancing act to make sure you don't over punctuate or overdo the details. The deepest darks, I use compressed charcoal sticks or charcoal pencils.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you, Virginia, for sending in your question. And thank you, Mary, for the insight into these pieces. They really are beautiful. Now, I think everyone is curious as well, with everything going on. How are you doing, and how are you all dealing with the pandemic?
I'm somewhat of a recluse anyway, so I don't mind being at the ranch or in my studio for several weeks at a time. I don't travel to town but every 2 or 3 weeks to get groceries. So the focus for me in a way is to depict our ranch life as if I were writing in a diary. It's recording a time in history, and my hope is to simply and honestly portray our way of life without romanticizing it.
I love the the concept of recording that way of life. I mean, it's so wonderful that you're doing that same sort of work with your art, where you're preserving the tradition and the heritage of ranch life. And it's going to be something that your children are going to be able to look at, and viewers look at, and collectors for years and years. I think it's wonderful Western tradition. Well, Mary, this has been a wonderful conversation. We sure appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you again here real soon, and wish you and your family the best. Hope you all are safe, and we look forward to seeing you at the Briscoe again very, very soon.
Likewise. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.